Kenya and Uganda continue to evacuate the citizens from there. And NTV's Brenda Wanga spoke to one of the returnees from Kenya.
A day after the plane carrying 100 Kenyans fleeing the fighting in South Sudan, Dixon Ojaga is retracing his steps to a place he calls home. Due to his age, he was amongst the first to leave the troubled country aboard the Kenya Airways massive flight. The rescue couldn't have come sooner for the man who had been in South Sudan for just over 1.5 years. Dixon recalls the events that led to the latest round of fighting in South Sudan. The telltale signs of the impending violence were visible in the weeks leading up to the early July outbreak.
Kila mtu yuko na bunduki tatu, bunduki mbili pistol. Wakati huo tunasema ni nini inaendelea.
But even with the growing tension, he alongside other foreigners aching a living in the oil-rich country were hopeful that the tension would blow over, but it didn't. On the 8th of July, the sounds of war were ringing out in Juba and its suburbs. And Dixon alongside others were caught in the crossfire.
Lisasi inalia mpaka jioni, wakatoa Wanuer, wanawawa, Dinka, wanatoroka wakienda pande hiyo.
To save their lives, Kenyans living in South Sudan sought refuge at the Kenyan embassy in Juba. But if they thought they were guaranteed safety, they were wrong. The South Sudan forces' attacks made no distinction between the embassy and other buildings.
Tulikuwa kwa embassy, na hiyo kitu ilianguka kama 100 meters. Sasa hiyo ilianguka hapo, ndio ikatoa mchanga yote paka juu na tukaingia kwa embassy. Kuangalia juu ya embassy iko wireless. West toka.
A ceasefire brought an end to the hostilities, but it wasn't the end of the experience he says he won't forget.
Kila cloud hapa ilikuwa kama ni umesaona star ikianguka. Lesa inatoka huko inatoka huko kwa masaa mawili mpaka saa 2 ya usiku. Kila mtu mimi niliingia chini ya sink.
Now nestled in his modest house away from the Dinkanwer, SPLM, SPLA, Riek and Kir was, the expert Taylor says he couldn't be happier and safer.
Nikaingia jana saa 9 ikibaki dakika 15. Niko furaha sana. Hapo niko furaha sana.
Back in the country he fled, IGAD and regional leaders are now in support of a push to have targeted sanctions against leaders fueling fighting in that country. Although he left Kenya with the hopes of making it big in South Sudan, Dick has returned home with just the clothes on his back, and his top priority right now would be to pick up the pieces of his life and re-establish his businesses that he had left here in Kenya. Brenda Wanga, NTV, Nairobi.